Good morning, Ava. Hey, congratulations on completing chapter 1 here in high school algebra. We're beginning chapter 2 here, so let's write today's date. Today is the 23rd. And we will begin chapter 2. Lesson 1. So chapter 2, lesson 1 here. So best wishes here as we go for it here. So, hey Ava, today is all about taking words, looking at words and writing equations. So let's just write down some keywords. Number 1 here, keywords. So let's write down the word is means equals. The word half is going to mean division. Half will mean division. So you're going to write down you're going to read some words, and then you're going to write down what it is. Let's do guided practice, number 2. Guided practice, number 1, says 2 plus, so let's write that down. 2 plus the quotient. Quotient is the answer to division, and Ava, when we do divide, we're going to use a horizontal fraction bar. It's just easier to work with than the slanted one, and we're not going to use the division symbol. We can. We certainly can. But it's going to get more complicated for us. I think the easiest one is for us to use this horizontal fraction bar. So it says 2 plus the quotient. That means the answer to divide. That means two things have to have been divided. The quotient of a number, so there's my number. I don't know what it is. It's my variable. What I don't know is my variable. What I don't know is my variable. A number and 8 is the same as 16. And that's what we're going to write. Now, we can solve this one by doing the steps and everything, but we're just taking the words and writing the equation based on those words. Let's go ahead and do number 2 here. Number 2 says 27 times k is h squared decreased by 9. So just simply writing down what is listed there. Just writing down what is listed there. So woohoo. I forgot to put what page we are on here. Ava, we are on page 79, so sorry about that. So, page 79. Turn the page, go to page 80 here, and going to deal with the word formula. The word formula. And in your book here on page 80, it has says here where that yellow highlighted word formula is. It says a rule for the relationship between certain quantities is called a formula. It says these equations use variables to represent numbers and form general rules. A formula, the same pattern to get the correct result. And some very common formulas are area of a rectangle is base times height. That means we're going to do the same pattern. We're always going to go base times height to get the area of a rectangle. If we had area of a triangle, we'd go base times height divided by 2. So this is area of a rectangle. And this is area of a triangle. And then one we also have is, this is formula for area of a trapezoid. This is area of a trapezoid. So these are just some formulas. It's the same pattern used over and over. Better put a volume one in here. Volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi times radius cubed. This is volume of a sphere. And we better do another one. Area of the base, that capital B means area of the base times the height. And this would be volume of a rectangular prism. So just some good quality formulas there. You'll also need to start with the symbols. Start with the symbols. You're going to start with the symbols and then write the words. And if you look on page 81, example 4A, just for practice, I think this is a gentle assignment today. So, says, translate each equation into a sentence. So it starts with this. It starts with 6z minus 15. 6z minus 15 equals 45. And if we were going to write the words down, we could say this. We could say, and again, I'm going to write down all the words, 15 less than the product of 6 and z is 45. So there again, it's just starting with symbols and then writing the words out there. I'm looking at check your understanding on page 81. Check your understanding on page 81. And I'm going to do one of them. And I'm going to do number 6. So number 5 is going to be page 81. Check your understanding. Number 6. Check your understanding, number 6. It says 3/4 of W. So let's do this one. 3/4. And I'm going to put a star here someplace. Of frequently, not always, frequently means multiply. So 3/4 of W plus 5 is 1/2 of W increased by 9. And there again, just writing down exactly what the words say, understanding what those words mean. Going to have a few word exercises here. I'm looking at back to page 80 here, Ava. And that first example, I'm looking at example 2. And it says, refer to the information at the left. And in how many days will 261,000 flights have occurred in the United States? And this is the part where we really want to get to, is just when you have something and when we don't know something, how can we find the something that we don't know? So let's read this one. There are about 87,000 flights per day in the United States. We need to find out how many days it will take for 261 flights to occur. It says, write an equation. Let D be the number of days needed. That means that's what we don't know. So let's just write this one down in our notes just to have it. And then I believe I'm going to write down your great assignment. It looks like I might want to add. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's do this one, and then I'm looking at your assignment, and it looks pretty friendly, I think. So this is page 80, so I'm going backwards here. I was going to skip this one, but I'm saying, well, let's just get it down just so we know for sure. And let's go ahead and do example number 2. So example number 2, there are 87,000 flights per day. So let's write that, 87,000 flights per day. And we want to find out a total of 261,000. And then how many days? That's going to be the big question. How many days? So it'd be like this. If we had 87,000 flights a day times a certain number of days, that would equal 261,000. Then if we divided both sides, if we actually did the work here, I want to get rid of what's beside my variable. To do that, I do the opposite. This is a multiply 87,000, so I will divide by 87,000. And the rule says what we do to one side of this equal sign to keep it equal, we do the exact same thing to the other side. 87,000 divided by 87,000 is 1 times D. Little trick here is if you've got one number on top and one number on bottom, one number in the numerator, one number in denominator, you can get rid of your zeros and just do 261 divided by 87. And if we do that correctly with your calculator, you're going to come up with 3. D equals 3 days. So fairly gentle with that one there. Let me just look here, and we're going to do number 7 here, and I may add a few more formulas that you need to know. Let's do area of a circle is pi times radius squared. This is area of a circle. I'm looking to see what other formulas okay, let's do this one. Volume is capital B, and we better just write this in here. That means area of the base. Whatever the base is, if the base is a rectangular shape, then you'd find the area of a rectangle for the base. If it was a triangle, you'd find the area of a triangle for that base. So capital B means area of the base, and times height divided by 3. And this would be area of a pyramid and cone. Area of a pyramid and cone. And I'm going to write this one here, excuse me. Yeah, Ava, this volume, sad. Volume of a pyramid and cone. And then I'm going to come back to this one because I'm going to get them all. Area equals base times height, or volume, excuse me, volume equals base times height. So volume of prism, any type of prism, and cylinder. So I got some good formulas here. A word that I see here is perimeter. So let's just make sure we understand. Perimeter is the outer boundary. The outer boundary of something. And sometimes it has a formula, sometimes it doesn't. If you had 4 times x equals perimeter, or I guess it should be perimeter equals 4 times x, and x is the length of a side. X is the length of a side. We would say this is a formula for perimeter of a square. So this is the only example I'm going to do here for perimeter. There's x is the length of a side. We have a square. So here's my square. And every side is x. And put those little marks there. That means all the sides are the same length. Those little marks mean every angle is a right angle. So there's my square. So let's do your assignment here. Woohoo. Assignment. Lesson 2-1, beginning on page 82. And this will be numbers 21 through 43. And then 47 to 50. Select one. And then 51 to 56. So best wishes. Woohoo! Chapter 2, Lesson 1. Let's go for it.